Hey y'all, so because I was in Dominican Republic last week, I had to skip New Jersey for that week, so I'm going to be combining episodes 6 and 7. So if you're a Jersey fan, you are quite in luck for today. So yeah, let's get into this episode because, get comfortable. So we open the episode with Jennifer, and as we saw in episode 5 when she left Teresa's pool party as a drunken mess, she's just having some regrets. She's saying that she's never been this drunk before. Okay, girl. She said she threw up in her husband's Ferrari. She also threw up when she got home. But yeah, we see her clean up her own foyer, and I'm like, she don't have maids? And then I thought, well, actually, when I see Jennifer on here, I don't really see her with like nannies or assistants or anything. So I'm guessing they're saving a lot of money by her doing that. Like, she's an actual housewife. So she works for that mansion. So next scene we're with Dolores, and of course she's with her ex-husband Frank and not her actual boyfriend. And it actually looks like they're flirting too. I mean, they just have the most interesting relationship, don't they? So they're in a scene right now with their son, and then we see her daughter walk in, and I think her daughter is rarely on the show. Like, she's like 24. They say she was in veterinarian school, and it's nice to see Dolores and her whole family together. Now, I do like Dolores, but I'm not sure if that just has to do with her being Black Dolores. But sometimes she just, I don't know, the Jersey girls just give me a little bit of Republican vibes, so it's just hard for me to really love this franchise. But it's always interesting. That's why I keep watching. Now, she's saying her daughter came home so she can support her mom, and she's getting an award from a hospital for breast cancer. And then when I thought about it, I was like, what is she doing for breast cancer? But okay, maybe she's doing like volunteer charity work or like doing awareness or some shit. So next scene we're with Teresa and all 4 of her daughters, and they have Joe on the line all the way from Italy. And Lord, it looks like Joe is now in the sex toy industry. He sells dildos. And the reason we know this is because he's asking Teresa, I mean, of course, because of her fame, to help go into business with him. And I'm just thinking, well, at least they're on good terms. That's nice to see. So Teresa's giving us details in her confessional about her divorce settlement. Now, she says that Joe walked away with nothing, and he was fine with that because, I mean, she took care of the kids for 5 years, she paid all of his debt, and she got to keep the house. And I gotta say, well, she deserved it. I mean, the reason why she went to jail is because of Joe. I will say the most redeeming quality about Teresa is how much she cares about her daughters. I mean, she's still an asshole and kind of an idiot. Well, yeah, she is an idiot, but it's really nice, you know, the love she shows for her family. They're also talking about putting together a celebration for her dad that passed because during COVID when he died, he couldn't really get a real send-off celebration. So they're planning on having a little party for that. So now we're back with Dolores, and it's the day that she receives her award. She received it at her house because of COVID, and to celebrate, she's having a dinner and inviting all the ladies. Oh wow, that's something you don't see every day. Look, a Black person in this scene. So it's the chef, but I mean, the food just looks amazing, doesn't it? So we see Dolores earlier receiving her award, and wow, her pale ass boyfriend isn't even there. Frank is there though. So he comes in a little bit later before the dinner starts, and you know, you see him in this tired ass leather jacket again, and he's saying he can't make the dinner. And it looks like he's trying to hightail it out of there before anyone else gets there. Like, he really hates being on camera. And you know what? If I looked like him, I probably wouldn't want to be either. Now, they're actually having this event at his house that Frank built. I gotta say, this is just one weird ass relationship. Can she just get back with Frank? Now it looks like all the ladies are here, even Jackie, with the exception of Teresa because she couldn't make it. So the ladies are now discussing how shit-faced Jennifer was at Teresa's pool party, and Marge is being a little judgmental, but Jennifer is saying, you know what, y'all, I will not be drinking at this event. And now the conversation moves to Dolores' relationship with her boyfriend and why isn't she moved in the house with him. It looks like she's trying to change the narrative of last season because she really wanted a ring before she moved in with her boyfriend and she didn't get one. So now it's like, oh well, I'm working on my independence. I've built a life for myself for 20 years and I don't really want to live with anyone. And Melissa calls BS on that. She's like, girl, you know you would be in this house if he gave you a ring. And I agree with her, but Dolores says, oh, well, if I really wanted to move in here, I really didn't need a ring. But, oh, she's just trying to stick with, oh, I just like living alone right now. Okay, you like living with Frank. That's what you like. Okay, Melissa, you being a little intrusive in Dolores' relationship now, asking her how many times a week her and her pale boyfriend have sex. Wow, Dolores is showing the ladies her house and it is regular, degular, schmegula. She really needs like a decorator or something. Because as y'all can see, a good decorator does wonders. So we find out that the next trip for the ladies is going to be at the Jersey Shore. And now since Jackie is going, as well as Teresa, they're trying to delegate a way that both of them can go with less conflict as possible. So it looks like they're going to pull a Basketball Wives on us and they're going to be in 2 different houses. So now we see a montage of all the ladies getting ready for the trip. It looks like it's a couples trip as well, so all of the men are going too. I gotta say, like every single episode, Joe Gorga manages to say something incredibly sexist, whether it involves his wife or his daughter. Literally every episode he says something sexist. And now the new mess. So as Jennifer is getting ready, her husband tells her at guys' night that Marge's husband said that he actually heard the rumor about Jackie's husband too. And Lord, that is all that Jennifer needed. That's all she needed. She cannot wait to tell the other ladies. So as they're all heading to the Jersey Shore, in one car it's Teresa, Jennifer, and Dolores. And of course the topic of Jackie comes up. And of course Jennifer spills the beans on what her husband told her, and that's all Teresa needed because now she feels vindicated for some reason. I mean, just because Marge's husband heard it still doesn't mean it's true. And it still doesn't make you less of an asshole for going around her husband's party telling everybody but Jackie. So the ladies all arrive at the Jersey Shore and there's 2 houses. There's Dolores' house, which is going to be Dolores, Teresa, and Jennifer staying. And then we have Melissa's house where it's going to be Melissa, Jackie, and Margaret. So later on in the evening while dinner's being prepared at Dolores, everyone is expecting a big blow up between Jackie and Teresa. And for some reason, I don't know why Jackie seems like she's so intimidated by Teresa all of a sudden. Like, girl, the reason why we love you is because you're the only one that doesn't kiss Teresa's ass. So all the ladies arrive at Dolores' place and we see Teresa coming downstairs with gift bags for everybody, including Jackie. Jackie looks like she's about to throw up. I'm not sure what's going on with her. And we find out that she gave all the ladies dildos. And I'm pretty sure she's trying to promote her ex-husband's sex toy brand. So Teresa, of course, being the asshole that she is, starts with Jackie immediately and tells her, oh yeah, you can stick one of these dildos up your ass. And she's referring to what Melissa told her about Jackie when she said, oh yeah, she can stick that olive branch up her ass. So yeah, Teresa calls herself getting back at her because Teresa holds grudges. Now it looks like an argument's about to start, but Jackie looks really disengaged and the other ladies just quickly diffuse the situation. So they're all at the dinner table and the first topic of conversation is Teresa's divorce and her settlement. And while she's telling everybody that her ex-husband didn't want anything, so then she tells her brother and Dolores that yeah, y'all should take back what y'all said about Joe at the reunion last year because they said that Joe would be after her money. And Teresa says, well, you know, y'all owe me an apology then. And her brother feels like he doesn't need to really do anything and he still hates him because of what he put Teresa through. And of course Melissa's defending her man and asks Teresa to stop because you're ruining the dinner. And Teresa tells her to shut up. And then by seeing this, Margaret calls out Teresa and asks her, like, why are you being so aggressive today? Like, first with Melissa and then with Jackie earlier? As the camera pans on Jackie, she looks like she's about to have a nervous breakdown. What is wrong with her? And now that they got off of that topic, Melissa jokingly asks, well, does anyone else have anything they want to get off their chest at the table? And you know Teresa, she tells Margaret, well, what did your husband say during boys' night? Child, and Margaret is blindsided as well as her husband. And then Teresa just spills the beans. She was like, oh, well, didn't he say he heard the rumor too about Jackie's husband? Ooh, Margaret is mad. She is mad. And then Jennifer, she's smirking and said, well, Bill told me about it. And Marge just straight up attacks Jennifer. She's like, were you there? Were you there? Then shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, Marge, like, it is Jennifer's fault, so I can see why she's mad at her, but she's just the messenger. This all would have never happened if it wasn't for Teresa. And poor Marge's husband, he looks like he don't know what to do. He looks so embarrassed. And then he just tells a bold-faced lie. I didn't hear anything. Like, Margaret looks like she's about to cut him. And then Teresa is still pushing it. Ooh, she being a messy see you next Tuesday, ain't she? So then Jackie finally sticks up for herself and says, you know, I don't give a damn what Teresa has to say. She mentions that Teresa treats her like an asshole and she doesn't care for her because she treats everybody like shit. So then Teresa goes around the table and asks the ladies like, oh, do I treat you like shit? And of course her two minions, Dolores and Jennifer, are gonna say no. So then she goes to Melissa and she's like, well, yeah, you did kind of like accuse me of being a stripper. And then she asks Margaret, and Margaret's like, well, last season you told Danielle to pull my hair. So yeah, there goes that argument, Teresa. Like, this dinner has absolutely gone to hell. And I am thoroughly entertained. So Jackie tries to drop the conversation, but Teresa's still trying to throw digs at her and call her calculated. Oh, and I like to be around people with confidence. You don't really have confidence. And then Jackie says, oh, well, where you got all that confidence? Jail? Like, that's all Jackie needs to do. Like, Jackie has so much ammo for Teresa, but I'm not sure why she doesn't use it. So, of course, Teresa goes into a blind rage, starts cursing her out, gets up from the table and starts walking off saying, I can't deal with this bitch. I can't deal with her. Like, okay. Like, she comes at Jackie so much, and then when all Jackie has to say is one thing about Teresa, and Teresa's buttons are pushed. And of course at this point it's to be continued, but luckily I'm doing 2 episodes, so let's just get to episode 7. So y'all, episode 7, it's so good that I gotta watch it live. I was about to take notes on it, but I was just like, ooh, this is so good. I gotta give my immediate reaction to this. So we open the episode with Teresa walking off, like she goes upstairs in Dolores' house. We see that her brother Joe goes after her, and of course, because Teresa's having a tantrum, the whole fucking world has to stop and everyone has to calm Teresa down. So when Joe goes upstairs, she's like, leave me alone. You don't even stick up for your sister. Back at the dinner table, the ladies are all over it. They're really tired of this situation keep coming up. And I'm tired too. So Melissa's trying to go. She's like, this is not working. Everyone's ready to go. Dinner is destroyed. Lord, and as the ladies get up, Jackie tells Margaret, your husband's an asshole. Margaret's like, what? And she's like, he's an asshole. And then Margaret tells her husband, you hear that? You hear that? And then her husband tries to hug Jackie, and now Jackie is furious at him. And Jackie getting upset. She's like, why would you do this? Why would you give life to this? Now, Margaret's like, well, they were all talking about it. Don't get mad at just him. They were all talking about their situation at boys' night. So it's hard to tell because it looks like Margaret's mad at her husband and now she's mad at Jackie too. So then Jackie looks like she's about to have that breakdown now. And she was like, this was all fine until he opened his fucking mouth. And then Margaret comes to her husband's aid. She's like, everybody was talking about it. Like, Margaret is unhinged now. I forgot how Margaret is when she's really angry. Ooh, and Jackie says she want nothing to do with Margaret's husband. Woo! Margaret. Ooh, this is a good opening. She was like, he didn't say anything. He fucking defended you. Wow. Wow. See, this is why I like Jersey. This is, wow. Everyone is stunned. Like, no one is saying anything. Margaret and Jackie are going back and forth. I'm like, y'all on the same team. Get it together. And now we have entered Jackie's breakdown. Why is everyone yelling at me? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Oh my God. Margaret storms back into the house because she's just had enough. But to be fair, Margaret's husband shouldn't have said nothing. Like, he brought this on himself. Like, of course, one of the husbands was going to go to their wives and say what happened. And that's all Jennifer needed. And that's all that Teresa needed to bring it back up and throw in Jackie's face. But Dolores' ex, Frank, has a good point. Like, at the end of the day, they talked about it, but they said they didn't believe it. So Jackie, girl, if you know it's not true, you need to stop having breakdowns about this. We hear Margaret talking about Jackie as she's in the room. Jackie, stop yelling about me! Oh, I gotta take a picture of this, y'all. Jackie feels like she's a punching bag, and she thinks everyone is just talking behind her back now. So now they're trying to diffuse the situation, calm Jackie down. Margaret tells her husband to tell Jackie what exactly happened, and they're all saying they all talked about it, but at the end of the day, they believe that Evan did not cheat on you. They don't believe the rumor. So we see Margaret and Jackie hug it out. She hugs it out with her husband now. She's like, I love you too. Ooh, this is just the first 5 minutes, y'all. So then Teresa comes out because, the attention is no longer on her, it's on Jackie. So Teresa goes back outside by the dinner table to talk to her brother about not sticking up for her. And Joe is already looking a little red, so it looks like he about to blow up too. So she's mad that her brother and Melissa aren't sticking up for her. And he's like, are you crazy? Like, you started this whole thing. So Melissa comes outside and tells Teresa, just come in and tell Jackie, like, apologize, please. And then now Melissa has had it. Melissa has had it. She gets up to Teresa's face, puts the hands behind her back, and starts yelling at her. Melissa has that little gangster side in her, but I still feel like she ain't gonna do nothing. She is in Teresa's face. She's mad because Teresa's now saying that, well, you don't stick up for me as a sister-in-law. And this just enrages Melissa. Jennifer's at the table. She doesn't know what to do. So Melissa now calls out Teresa on her hypocrisy because she doesn't stick up for her brother when her ex talks about him. And this gets Melissa all in a rage. She just takes the basket of something. It looks like deviled eggs or maybe cheese. I don't know what it was, but she just flips the bowl over out of anger. All that food gone to waste. So now Joe is trying to talk to Teresa, and now the argument is about her husband going after him. And as they're talking, Melissa is scraping the cheese back into the bowl. Joe is like getting beet red talking to Teresa. So I think what set Joe off is that Teresa told him that I just want you to be happy because he did the right thing. And he hates her ex-husband. Joe has crossed his boiling point. He stands up and says, because of your piece of shit ex, like you were in jail. He put their mom in an early grave. He even flings Melissa off and tells Teresa, like, fuck your ex-husband. This is the first 7 minutes. Everyone around is scared now. Joe kind of reminds me of that character from Inside Out. You know, the little red man that symbolized anger? And then he would just pop off. Yeah, just like that. So this moment has gotten very real now, and Dolores had to step in because she's known both of them since they were kids. She says that their parents want nothing more than the two of them to get along. Joe says he doesn't want to hear anything about Joe Giudice being nice. Don't try to flip this narrative. He was a piece of shit. I kind of agree. Like, she's trying to make it seem like he's just this great person now. He put your ass in jail, Teresa. So the conversation ends in a hug because at the end of the day, I mean, they're still related. She even hugs it out with Melissa, so they're sorry. They tried not to go back to the place of, season 3 and 4 where they were at war with each other. The producers know the best drama is when Teresa and her brother and Melissa get into it. They know this. And now they're pleading with her to please just wrap it up with Jackie, please. And then Teresa says, no, she brought up jail now. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Jackie looks like someone threw her in a dryer for 40 minutes. Like, I don't know what's going on with her. I think the rumor must be true the way she's acting right now. So Jackie, Melissa, and Margaret, they all leave. They're gonna try for tomorrow when Jackie is calmed down to get them both to talk about it. Jackie is still in this van on the way back crying. Child, everybody's trying to tell Teresa, girl, you can see Jackie is literally hurt by what you said. Can you just apologize and move on? The daggers that Jackie threw your way don't hurt you as much as the rumors that you put out about Jackie. And everyone just looks frustrated. They're like, this bitch is just not getting it. So now we're just dealing with the aftermath. It looks like Joe hurt his hand. His hand is now in a bucket of ice. Jackie still looks a mess. She's on the phone with her husband because he's supposed to join him tomorrow. But Jackie does bring up that Jennifer started this situation tonight and when she really should have shut the fuck up. So they put that on the back burner for Jennifer because they know how she rolled now. So for a minute, we see some of the couples talking. Margaret apologizes to her husband for going crazy on him. He's saying that, yeah, it just got out of context. Sir, you lied, okay? You should have never opened your mouth on the situation. And now we have Melissa talking to Joe, and Joe looks like he's gonna have cardiac arrest if he gets to that angry place again. That was a hell of a day one. So it's the next morning, and they're all just talking about how crazy last night was. So they're at breakfast, and Jackie's just like, just promise me that she won't be an animal around my husband. And there's like, she's not gonna talk about it. And she's like, well, that's what y'all said the first night. So nothing's really happening right now. We're just getting a lot of recaps. Jennifer's husband just came and he's trying to find out what happened. I mean, it's kind of your fault too, sir. Like, if you didn't tell your wife about guys' night, then Jennifer wouldn't have told Teresa, and Teresa wouldn't have been Teresa. So now the gathering's gonna be at Melissa's house, and they're just having a poolside gathering. We see that Jackie's in a good mood now. She doesn't look like she's about to fling herself off a bridge or anything. Hopefully it stays that way. So all the ladies get to Melissa's, we see Teresa, and she makes a beeline straight to Jackie to talk it out. Teresa, say you're sorry. She's like, I don't mean to offend your family. I just want us to drop it, okay? Sorry. I apologize. So I didn't hear an apology, but Jackie says, okay, it's fine. Just don't bring up my husband. I do agree with Jackie though. It is funny that Teresa's just so nervous to talk to Jackie's husband when she was just talking about him to everybody. She's probably intimidated by her husband because she's attracted to him. That's the real tea. Lord, it looks like the hatchet is buried. Oh my God, hopefully. So now everyone's talking about, oh, what is Evan gonna do? What's gonna be his reaction? Like, Jackie's been falling apart for weeks. Like, now it must be awkward for him to come. How he's gonna be? He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder? So he finally gets there. And it's like crickets. So Evan gets to Teresa and, she says hello. She says, I'm sorry about the whole thing. I don't want to hurt y'all. So they're saying that's all they needed and hopefully it is squashed. It's so funny how Big Bad Teresa turns into a 4-year-old apologizing for drawing on the walls when Evan shows up. Margaret in her confessional says that is one of the weakest apologies I've ever seen, and I agree. Joe takes Teresa to the side to just say how proud he is of her. I mean, why does everyone baby this woman? Why? So now we see everyone having fun. Some people are doing wave runners, some people is on a speedboat, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward. Wow, so Teresa and Jackie are actually getting along. Teresa's taking pictures of Jackie with her husband. Okay. So they're all at lunch now. Everybody's at the table. They're talking about dildos, of course. Joe Gorga's talking about sex again. And then Jennifer decides to ask Margaret, oh, so how you and Joe are doing? Because I've never seen you mad at him like that. Wrong road, sis. Wrong road. So yeah, Margaret's like, well, I think what you said to Teresa should have never been brought up. So she blames Jennifer for the blow up last night. So now they're getting into it. And then Jennifer was like, well, it's a classic case of shoot the messenger. And then Jackie jumps in and said, well, yeah, you did. You kept it going. So then this is all the cue for the men to leave the table as they're talking. So Margaret thinks Jennifer's a shit starter and she says she has the right to her opinion. And I agree with her opinion. Jennifer knew what she was doing. She could not wait until she got the information from her husband to tell Teresa. Oh my God, Jennifer just told her the way you treated your husband was embarrassing last night. They are going jab for jab. So now Marge is like, well, the way you act in front of your husband, I would be embarrassed. You embarrass your whole family. Now, I personally love when Jennifer and Margaret get into it because they both go for the jugular. So after Margaret says that she's a sloppy drunk, and then Jennifer comes back, well, you've had your sloppy moments too. You slept with your boss. Mouths dropped at the table, and mine did too. I think Jackie is just glad that it's not her in the drama now. Margaret is back in the game. She was like, your husband is your fucking meal ticket for your whole life. So after Margaret says that, she just storms off upstairs. So now Marge's team, Jackie and Melissa, they go upstairs and try to calm her down. She's like, of course you're not gonna talk to your husband any kind of way because he's your sugar daddy. You ain't gonna do nothing. Damn, she even called her a concubine. Damn. It looks like Dolores has become the voice of reason. I really miss when Dolores was like getting into it with the women. Now she's like the Cynthia of this franchise. So Marge comes back downstairs. Melissa says, we all said some stupid things last night. Let's just put water under the bridge and act like nothing happened so we can go on being fake. Oh my God. These women, oh my God, I love Jennifer and Marge when they go at it. Jennifer just said, calling me a sloppy drunk. She's having repressed memories from her fucking mom. Oh my God. Like, they are putting points on the board. I am so glad she did not say that to Margaret's face. They would have been fist fighting. So now as Teresa's clique go back to Dolores, everyone is having their separate conversations about what just happened between Marge and Jennifer. And now they're just saying they're hoping nothing else blows up when they go to dinner later in the evening, which we know it is. And that is where the episode ends. Woo! 2 episodes back to back. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. I apologize for being late, but I was just like, let me just combine these 2 episodes. 2 very good Jersey episodes. I am very surprised. Like, I'm happy with the franchise so far this season. They are not disappointing like some other ones. I'm hoping I didn't run my mouth too much and this video is like under 30 minutes. But anywho, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for a pop roast and a poly side eye this week. See ya.